Good evening, everybody. Welcome again to this week's episode of It's My Turn Now. Everybody gets the opportunity to just let us know what's on your mind. Let us know what your thoughts are. I pray that you're having a fantastic week thus far as we go into the holiday season. There are a lot of different um, topics we can talk about as we go into the holiday season. We talked about uh, how we're navigating the holiday on last week. This week, I just want to go a little bit different, and it's somewhat can be open mic because if there's something that you feel like that you want to share with us, feel free to discuss this with us. But you've been hearing a lot in news about affordability. Some people say affordability is a problem. Some people say it's a hoax. I want to know what your thoughts are. When I know about you, but I went to the grocery store the other day. I had just a few minimum items, and it came out to like $85. No meat, just a few items. It came out to $85. I was shocked. I could not believe. I asked the cashier, I said, "Can you check that again?" Sister Walton says, "Praise the Lord, everyone. God bless you so much. Appreciate you coming on." Hey, without saying things, she's already shared. If you're watching this, please share, share, share. Let your friends know that It's My Turn Now is on the air. It's my turn now, where you get a chance. A lot of times, people, I talk to a lot of people, and they tell, feel like I'm dealing with a lot. I just need somebody to talk to, and I don't have anybody to talk with or nobody to listen with. This is your opportunity to let us know what your thoughts are, to just share with us what your questions are, what your concerns are, especially during this holiday season. I don't know about you, but there are a lot of emotions that I feel during the holiday season. Sometimes you think about family members that are not here, the dynamics of the holiday season shift. Someone was talking to someone last week when they're talking about like when the matriarch or patriarch um, leaves the family, things change. Some families used to get together, and once the mom or dad or mother, grandmother passes, they no longer get together. So that changes dynamic, changes the view of the holiday. What do you most look forward to for the holiday season? Just wonder what that. And don't forget to share what is you look most forward to the holiday season. A lot of times people look for gifts. Sometimes people look to get together with family and friends, especially people who are out of town. Sometimes people have relatives who are out of town that who they don't see until the holiday season, especially if they're long distance. That's the beautiful thing about Thanksgiving and Christmas is time when people are able to get together and spend time with the family. However, again, we're talking about this affordability issue, and then there's some people who say, I can't afford to travel. The airline prices are high, the gas is high, everything is high, and so it that affects what you're able to do. And when what you're able to do is affected, then that can affect your mood, how you feel emotionally, mentally, because you're saying to yourself, "Hey, I wish I could do more. I just can't do more." And I've had many clients who they've shared with me, "Hey, they're despondent, upset because they just can't get the kids what they want." And I think sometimes we have to maybe change the expectation of the children too, because I've seen parents just go totally broke buying for the kids. And I pray that whoever's watching this, I hope that's not the situation. I hope you don't allow yourself to go broke because of children, especially Christmas holiday. It's only one day out of the year. And again, we as Christians know the purpose and the meaning of the season. It's not about the gifts. However, it's a good time to give. It's a good time to um, express your love, express your thoughts toward your family, your relatives, things like that. So I think it's a good time for that. But we can't just focus on that. We have to focus on we have to just focus on how the reason the holiday, reason that Jesus' birth, that we have to focus on. I think it's a time of being thankful too. It's a time of saying, you know what, I am very blessed. I'm fortunate that I can spend time with my family. I'm fortunate that I have my health. This time last year, as I shared with me, this time last year, I was just recovering from a very, a very serious condition I was recovering. So I'm thankful, just to be here to see another year. And I think we need to kind of set our priorities when it comes to the holiday season. And then there's some people who when it comes to Christmas holiday, there are some people that are offended when people get Christmas trees. What are your thoughts about that? Um, you know, uh, People get very serious and people have very committed about that. Their convictions about their committed and passionate about their conviction. We don't believe in Christmas trees, and I remember when I first was joined church, it was a no. You didn't have a Christmas tree. We didn't believe in Christmas tree. I wonder how many people, I won't say believe in it. How many people are offended when they see someone else has a Christmas tree? Maybe you don't feel comfortable sharing with us on here, and if you do, tell us why. Um, I mean, I can understand why people say and how people feel about the Christmas tree because we know Christmas is not about a tree. Somehow they incorporate that in the holiday season, Christmas tree. But I will admit I liked. It's been a while since my wife and I have had a Christmas tree, and I like to get a Christmas tree. See, I just like looking at it. I think they're nice, the lights and things like that. I don't think the Christmas tree is a reflection of what we recognize as Christmas. However, when we think about Christmas, we think about Christ. We think about it's been a time and a season of giving. And so when we think of the Christmas tree, we're reminded of them bringing gifts to Jesus. And so I just wonder what your thoughts about that. Let us know your opportunity. Let me see. I'm gonna put the link on here. If you want to come on live, if you want to come on live and give your opinion, hey, I'm gonna put a link on here where you can come on live. How about that? When I first started put the link, there were a lot of people that came on and they wanted to be seen and heard, but then a lot of times they didn't realize that you could see them, and so they have a problem. They want to be heard, but they don't necessarily want to be seen. I guess this time, even people laid back, people relaxed, people are kind of chilling, don't want to be seen. So, but what are your thoughts about the Christmas holiday? There's some strict Christians that just don't believe the saints should have Christmas trees. And so I just wonder what your thoughts about that. Do you think is there someone here that thinks that you should not have a Christmas tree? If you do, let me know what the reason, the rationale is behind that. We had that in our discipleship class on yesterday. We had a very good discipleship class at Light of our Worship Center on yesterday morning. We had that the first Sunday of each month, and we talked about different things. And we talked about that because I can relate people's concerns about the Christmas tree as when Paul was talking about meats and foods is offered to idols. And so in the Bible, we know they talked about people cutting the tree and bowing down to it. God bless you, Brother Ezra. Different churches uh, beliefs out there. So true. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Ezra. Ezra has a beautiful Christmas CD. Now, a lot of people don't have CDs now, so I don't know if you have a MP3 or some type of player or how you have that. If somebody wanted to get the Christmas CD or however format you want to do it, let us know how they can do that, Brother Ezra. Very gifted. I believe in supporting people who have different ideas, different gifts, and different talents. I think that's what we all should do. We should encourage one another. We should support one another. And so if you have something that you want us to give you a shout out for, let us know what you're doing. Um, so thankful for the holiday season. So thankful for opportunity just to be here. But yeah, different churches have different ideas, and I just want to know maybe what are your thoughts? Well, I can pretty much tell what your thoughts are, but a lot of churches, I am surprised that there are a number of churches that still. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Brother Esther. Apple Music, Amazon, Brother Esther bought for Christmas. I remember one year I bought a number of them and gave them away as Christmas gifts. And some I gave away as early as Christmas gifts so they can start playing it, playing ahead of time. Now, I don't have a DVD player, so I'm gonna have to get another way. Otherwise, I would play that. Maybe I'll do an introduction before the Christmas holidays, introduction to the program, one of your Christmas songs. So. But what are your thoughts about a Christmas tree? And is there very few people now that have a problem with? Maybe there's not as many people that have a problem with it as used to be. A lot of times, people really have a problem. Remember, like I said, when I first got in church, there was a no Christmas tree, or people had Christmas trees. Then what they hid, they didn't want nobody to know. Head in the back room, they didn't want anyone to know that they had Christmas trees. So now they have so many Christmas trees, and they're so expensive now. But again, I see nothing wrong with, because you have to have understanding what the purpose is. What's the purpose? Is a Christmas tree. You're not worshiping the tree. You're looking at it. You decorate the tree. It's a festive holiday, just like people put decorate the house. Flowers around the house is just a part of decorating. So that's the way I look at it. Maybe you may look at it different. I look at it as just, again, when we talk about the holiday season, I I enjoy the holiday season. I enjoy Christmas. I enjoy giving people, and we're talking about affordability. A lot of people just don't have to give. And I think it's your attitude when it comes to giving. Um, you know, I don't give with the expectation of somebody giving back to me. And too many people give with the expectation of people giving back to me. And a lot of times people give, they're giving to who they know are going to give them something back. Well, I think, maybe this holiday season, maybe you can give to somebody less fortunate. Try to be a blessing to someone else. It's easy to give to somebody who that's got a lot, and they're going to reciprocate. But there are some people that need it, more. I look at corporate America and the concept behind corporate America. A lot of times they give to people who have money and rich. I always look at these celebrities. This is just me talking now. I look at these celebrities and they give them playing stuff, they give them cars, they give them things to endorse them just to come on. These are people that can afford it. I wonder what would happen if they say, you know what, instead of giving this to you, I'm going to give this. And some of them do give it to your favorite charity, or you select somebody who needs it. But man, we giving millionaires, multi-millionaires, people making 30-40 million dollars a year, and they'll give them a brand new car when many of us, there are people who don't have the resources that could use that. Let me see, brother. I know a pastor who has his church not celebrate Christmas. Oh, well, I don't know if that's a pastor's choice to tell the whole church not to celebrate Christmas or not. Now he may say we're not going. That's his choice. I don't know if I would agree that he may tell church we're not going to celebrate Christmas inside there. But how can you? So when you say I'm not going to celebrate Christmas, what are they saying? Are we not going to celebrate the commercial side of it? Or are we not going to celebrate the birth of Christ? Because really, the true Christian realizes that Christmas is about the birth of Christ. So if you say I'm not going to celebrate Christmas, then you say I'm not going to celebrate the birth of Christ, but you're going to say I'm not going to celebrate the commercialism. Then that's a different viewpoint. And that's what we have to be able to distinguish between that. Am I concerned about the holiday? And I think that it brings out the good in people. The holiday season does bring out the good. And on one occasion, Jesus told his disciples, he said, if they're not far against us, then they're for us. And something we may not understand, but if the holiday season will draw attention to people's attention to Christ, if the holiday season will call people to come to church where they can hear the word, I'm all for it. And so we have to change the way we think and the way we view things, because we have to look at things from a broader viewpoint instead of from a narrow viewpoint, because there's so much and there's opportunities that we can win Christ. A lot of times we have turned people away from Christ because of our narrow thinking. And we have to be more open-minded. And so Christmas, again, if you focus Christmas just on expectation, then you may be very disappointed. There you go, my good friend, Overseer Menor. God bless you. Greeting, Dr. Wall. So glad to hear from you. Hadn't heard from you. I'm sure you had a beautiful Thanksgiving holiday. Saw some pictures of you and your family out. But then again, I just think it's a good time to show just kindness, show support, show love. Sometimes we often don't take the time to show appreciation and show people that we care for them. Christmas is time for us to just have an expression of caring and showing and sharing. And I think there's no way that you can take that and slant that. I'd be hard pressed to find a way to demonize people wanting to give to somebody, people wanting to show love, people wanting to show kindness, unless they're trying to get something because they want to reciprocate. But I think the Christmas holiday season brings out the good. I'm not gonna say everybody because there's some devils that come out during Christmas holiday too, but it brings out the good in a lot of people. You see people just speaking, people who normally wouldn't speak, and I think that's something we should focus on. We it should be a time of giving, a time of celebration, a time of recognizing Christ, a time of being enjoyable, festive time, a time to just think on positive things, and time of giving. And if you know somebody that's in need, let this be an opportunity to be a blessing to that person. If you know a family that doesn't have, I like the fact that we do for people on Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I think that those should not be the only time. We should, you know, I appreciate the fact that we go all out on the Christmas holidays, but what about the day after Christmas? What about the day after Thanksgiving? And so maybe we can implement things in place so we can be able to help people all year round. And so, and plus also from our discussion last week talking about the mental health, I think it may do churches good to do two things. And let me know what your thoughts are. I think two things. Church should have seminars talk about finances. So because a lot of people, when it comes to finances, a lot of people go broke, and it's depressing because they're putting all the money into it to the Christmas holiday, and it becomes creates anxiety. God bless you, Apostle Davis. So I agree, Bishop. God bless you. Uh, and so we need to have classes to teach people how to deal with finances so that they can prepare. You know, there's a lot of ways you don't have to go broke during the holiday. You know, there's savings that you can put money away, put $5 a week, lose $5 a week. There's accounts that you can open and say, this is what I'm going to spend from that, and set some boundaries. I set some boundaries. Say, this is all I can spend, and I don't feel bad. Now, and my wife was on last week. We talked about it last week. Well, she actually came on, but she came on, left a message. But we were talking about how we used to go broke. I charged, man. We're getting all, and my wife has a very big family. Her family much bigger than mine, but her family. We're trying to get something for every family, and man, we was just spending money, and we paying charge cards, charging it, maxing out charge cards, and then we paying for 3-4 months after Christmas. I think about 15 years ago or longer. I don't know, it might have been longer. I told my wife, I said, honey, listen, what I can't afford to pay cash for, I'm not going to get. And I started paying cash for things. And don't you know, I found out something interesting, that the people really enjoyed it more. I was amazed that the people really, they enjoyed that. That was one of the best Christmas ever. It's not the amount of volume that you put into it. It's a thought, sometimes just a thought that you put in there. And so, but when we talk about affordability, we know, I don't care what people are saying, things are more expensive. Anybody know agree with that? Things are more expensive. They want to tell us that there's not an affordability problem. There's an affordability problem. The prices are going up higher. You can be in denial if you want to, but when I go to a grocery store, my pocketbook billfold does not lie to me. It lets me know when I go to a grocery store and I get a few items. I go and get 3 or 4 items, and not eating meat, just get some items, some general items, and I'm spending $80. Then the truth of it is something is going on. Prices are going up, and we have to be aware of that. I think too, sometimes we have to don't let people deceive you. And you see something, don't let somebody tell you what you see is not true. You know, anybody realistically can understand that there is an affordability problem. That means most of us, not everybody, but a lot of people have less money than their needs. Now, there are some people who are able to do things. I'm able to do more than I've ever been able to do before, but that's because of balancing. That's because of budgeting. That's because I always believe in spending less money than I bring. I'm gonna say that again. So I think it's an important lesson to a lot of people. If you spend less money than coming in, then you'll do better. Most people spend more money than what they have. You cannot spend more money than what you're getting in and expect to get ahead. I'm going to say this, and again, I think it's important to have financial literacy classes. Charges. When I first, before I got married, I did not have a charge card. I got a charge card after I got married. I remember sending statements because we were charging a lot, and it was nice. It's nice to have a charge card. Just charge him and pay it, man. This is like it's almost like free shopping until you have to pay it. And so then I saw an interest charge. And I thought that was interest charge for the year. And I looked up that bill, that statement, and that was just for 1 month. I said 1 month. And once I found out that was for 1 month, see, I didn't know that. See, some people don't know that. The important interest will kill you. Brother Hughes, God bless you. Happy holiday, Bishop. If you broke, but you're not broken, trust God and what you can give to those in need, a blessed word or helping word. That's so true. Give what you can give, and you can't give no more than what you got. I'm gonna say it again. Give what you can give, and you can't give no more than what you got. And so what I realized is that the interest was a monthly charge. So what I did was I took out a piece of paper. I wrote down all my charges. At this time, I had a number of charges. Wrote down all my monthly payments. I wrote down the interest and then the balance. And once I did that, I began to, if you do that and you just look at how much interest, just have a line where you go all the way across it. If you have charge cards, I think I don't have no charge card. I don't have no interest right now. To God be the glory for that. Ain't always been that way. And when I began to look at how much I was just the interest across all those charge cards, I was spending more interest than what I was spending than money I had, and it was no balance. And so most people, when it comes to cars, anything that you're financing, you have to understand. You have the bottom line is how much interest are you paying, because if you make a minimum payment on anything, it's designed to you probably pay maybe 2-3 times as much as a product after you get finished paying interest. So if you can pay, don't pay the minimum payment. It sounds good, but in the long run, it wears you out. Sister Menora, amen. Apostle Davis and I help a family in Nigeria whose husband was a Christian minister whom was killed. We have decided not only to help them throughout the Christmas season, but ongoing. This is a true meaning of Christmas and showing the love of God. And that's so true. And you always have such a giving spirit. I thank God for people like you and your brother, just giving spirits. And I think that's a display of Christian life. The child of God should not be selfish, should not be, it's all about me, but how can I be blessed? The scripture tells us, the scripture says this, it said, let not every man seek his own wealth, but that wealth of another individual. Don't just be concerned about how I can make it, how I can get rich and how I can do this, but what can I do to be a blessing to someone? How can I teach someone else? And that's when you really have the love of God. Sister Morris said, teach Bishop good solid finance advice. When you really have the love of God and you're able to bless somebody, man, that's a powerful feeling to just be able to bless somebody. It really is. It really is a powerful feeling. And then you have to realize the only way I can bless somebody is that I've got to have the resources to be able to bless them. And if you're able to bless somebody, you're blessed. And a lot of us have more than what we need, and we're still complaining. Take the time to bless somebody else. There was a couple that my wife and I would take them out every year around Christmas time. They're both gone. They're both deceased now. But we just made a senior citizen. We just made our business just to. They didn't have any families, so we made our business to take them out. There are a lot of people that don't have any families. Reach out to somebody that don't have families. Reach out. Don't just try to be a blessing to people that have something. Be a blessing to somebody that. Because God's the ones that's going to reward you. Sometimes we want to bless people because, they may be a blessing back, but God is the one that's going to reward you. And so, again, back to affordability, it doesn't take a whole lot. You don't have to break yourself to be a blessing. A lot of times what I do is I'll carry $2 bills. I carry $2 bills and I pass out $2 bills. $2 bills, that's not a whole lot of money, but just a thought of it. Sometimes I see somebody on the corner, where they have a sign, I'll hand them a $2 bill. Or I see some kids, I'll see a child in the store who's very well mannered. I ask the parents, do you mind if I give them a $2 bill, and I'll say this is because, and it's a learning lesson because I said, "Oh, you have such a good attitude. This is why I'm giving that to you." Let it be a learning lesson to you. Let someone see the love of God in you. Let someone know that you're thinking about them during the holiday season. Plus, two, be prayerful. Now, you might say, "Why you say it?" Be prayerful because you really don't know who's in need. I always go back to a story the late Evangelist Mildred Boyd shared that there was a sister that dressed beautiful, just dressed, and God told her to bless her, give her some money, and bless her. And she said, "Well, this woman don't need my help or anything like that." And but she went ahead and was obedient to the voice of God. And when she did that, the lady came and said she was broke. Stuff that she had was things that she had before her husband died. She was struggling. So you don't know what people are going through just by the way that they're looking. So don't just assume that everybody has money. Don't just assume. And what do? If you don't assume, just ask somebody, is there anything you need? Can I help you? Can I be a blessing? So you don't have to say, well, I didn't know the need. Ask somebody. If you have an inkling that somebody may be in need, there may be a possibility that they may be in need. And I don't think you're going to offend anybody by saying, can I be a blessing to you? You won't offend me if you say, can I be a blessing to you, Bishop Walton? You won't offend me at all. I don't know anybody, I hate to say this right here, anybody in the right mind that's going to be offended if you say, can I be a blessing? Now, there are some folks that I don't know, it's a trick of the enemy. Sometimes people have a whole lot of pride. I remember wanting to help someone out one time. They said, that's okay. And I knew they needed help. And they had too much pride. The family wanted to help, but the husband didn't want to do it. Pride goes before destruction. Let's not have so much pride that we can receive a blessing. If somebody wants to bless you, let them bless you, because in blessing other people, they are blessed. I believe anytime I take the time to bless someone else, it's a blessing to me. The Bible says much more blessed to give than to receive. So, I just have to take God at his word. It says more blessed to give. And it is because if you're able to bless somebody, that means you have the resources in abundance. That means abundant resources. You have more than what you need, because you can't give out of what you don't have. And if you're giving to someone else, that means you're blessed abundant. Think about that. Have you thought about that? If I'm able to give to somebody else, the Bible says to him, able to exceed abundantly above what we ask or think. So God is giving you an abundance of resources. If you have enough to give to somebody else, then you have abundance of resources. You have more than enough. God bless you, Brother George. Says, I don't wait for Christmas to spend all my money on Christmas, because going to store to store, trying to spend a lot of money on stuff that people really don't need, and skipping on the bills just to get yourself in debt. Pray before you do. That's so true. Now, the thing about it is, I always try to give people things. Now, this is what I do. A lot of times, I'll give people a gas card. As if they got a card. If they don't have a card, there's no sense of giving them a gas card. But I would give people something that's practical, or give them a gift card from a grocery store, something that's practical because they can use. And that's so true. And again, the key is you don't want to go broke doing it. If you can't give what you ain't got. And so if God has blessed you, do it. But no, by no means should you go broke, because you're not doing them any good. You're not doing yourself any good. Sister Minogue said, Bishop, I too always ask parents first. It's good to know we have kindred spirit. Amen. That's true. You just have to be careful. You don't want to offend anybody. And I make sure, if I say it, I make sure the kid don't see it, because can you imagine if you say, can I give this? And then you cause the child to be upset, and parents are always, I pull the parents aside and I ask them, it's okay. But just, and I'm not saying this to brag or anything, but as Brother George said, it don't have to be doing Christmas. A few months ago, I was in, and I think this might have been early this year. I guess maybe I'm so thankful, Sister Minogue, from where God brought me from. I'm thankful for the gift of life, the gift of health. I realize how blessed I am. Some people don't realize how blessed they are. I remember going to the restaurant, and the waiter said it was slow, and I just had some $2 bills. I give every waiter in the restaurant a $2 bill. And to this day, when I come back, they just they have never gotten. It doesn't take a whole lot to be nice. It doesn't take, just takes a little bit to show kindness. Just a small act of kindness can go a long way, people. Thank for this. I would not go broke for my parents' gift. I mean gifts. Like I said, give to them that really need. So I'm gonna ask you, to contribute to us so we can give to somebody else. But I remember one year, this has probably been about 10 years ago. My wife and I went to White Castle, and we went there by 11:30 at night because I think everything closed around Christmas Eve, whatever it was. And we went there, and I gave everybody in the restaurant a $2 bill. And to this day, they have never gotten it. It does not take a whole lot to show kindness. To this day, they say, I've never forgotten you giving us that was so nice. Just a $2 bill. So it's not always what you give a person, it's the spirit and the attitude that you have when you give it to the person. So I don't think you never be concerned, well, I don't have enough to give. Just give out the kindness of your heart, wherever you can. And to you, Christina, when you know you can bless your parents, especially if you got a good dad, a dad that's loving, kind, thoughtful, considerate, and generous. You know what? It's no telling what all you would want to give to a father like that. So I don't know what to expect from my daughter. But it's just good to be a blessing. It's good to be blessed. It's good to be able to celebrate the holiday. It's good to be able to just have the resources to give. I tell people this right here. I don't want anybody to go broke on me. And I'll say it again. I don't want anybody to spend their last on me. I read you say Merry Christmas, but do not spend your last on me because I don't want anyone to feel that, well, man, I blessed Bishop, but I really didn't, I really didn't have it. Don't spend. I don't think you should spend your last. Now, you send $2 bills, $2 bills. If that's what you had to give, then that's it. That's all you got. And I think a person who appreciates you will appreciate your gift. Bishop, you and your wife are such good people. Thank you, Apostle. I appreciate that. It takes a good man like you to recognize that you and your sister, the whole family, you, your sister, your nieces, and all the family members I met are just fantastic people. And you all have a giving spirit. I never forget when I was down in Alabama, how you and I had such a good time fellowship. I'm gonna have to make it back. My goal, I'm gonna set that my goal to make it back to Alabama next year. However, the last time I was in Alabama, I think you were on a mission trip. You were not there. So hopefully that we just have to make sure that we connect and make sure that you're in town when I come back in town. But I think one of the greatest things that you can have is fellowship. Maybe just get together with people, and you don't have to take the person out, say, we just go out, you pay for yours and I pay for mine. It's just about being together. It's about connecting with other people. We need to learn how to connect with other people. That's something we used to do. We don't do that as much as we used to do. I was listening to someone the other day, and they was talking about how when we were coming up, we could spend time over our family's house. Our relatives would spend an hour at the house, and we got money, get hotels, so we don't have to spend an hour with people's houses. But we used to have that connection, that connectivity. We don't have that connectivity in our own families, and certainly, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of that connectivity in the church. I remember when I first got saved, we would have, we would get together. First of all, I remember Christmas caroling. Anybody remember Christmas caroling? I love Christmas caroling. Never liked the cold, but I love Christmas caroling. We would go to a nursing home. We go to homes of saints that were not able to come out to church, and I can remember that from my teenage years, even to this day, the expression on those individuals' faces when a group of us would go out. The young people would go out to their home. They couldn't get out, and to have us to go outside our home and sing Christmas carols, that was powerful. See, there's so many ways that you can be a blessing. I wonder, do the young people do that anymore? Do people do that anymore? Go to nurse homes. You don't have to, if you don't like the cold, go to a nurse home, go to senior citizen home, and Christmas carol. That's a form of giving. So that's a giving that does not cost you anything financially. And so I think our minds during the holiday season, it's a good opportunity for us to focus our minds on what can I do to be a blessing to someone? What can I do? Because as I choose to bless someone else, I'm reflecting the love of God. And so I think there's an opportunity to reflect the love of God. Do something for someone that you may not have done something for. Do something for someone. Maybe someone just unexpected bless someone. Say, I want to bless someone who maybe it doesn't have to be someone that you really know real well. It could be someone that you know of. So I want to bless a person. You can be, one thing on our jobs we have like secret Santas. Give people something. You could mail somebody something and they don't have to know it, or give it to someone. But just putting a smile on someone else's face. I hope that, and by doing that from a mental and psychological standpoint, it calls us to. Uh, Take a reflection of ourselves and focus on others. And when you do that, you begin to realize, how blessed you are, and that in itself will help you to reduce anxiety when you are doing it in a way that has balance. When you saying, I'm going to be rational in my giving. I'm going to use wisdom in my giving, but I'm giving out of love, not out of responsibility. Sister Sarah, God bless. I'm watching you. Praise the Lord. God bless you, Sister Sarah. So glad to have you on each and every week. Um, when it helps you, it's giving. I don't know about you, but it gives me a warm. I guess I don't hate says it, but it's true. Kind of give you a warm fuzzy feeling when you love people and you're able to do for other people. There's no greater feeling than to be able to do that and know. And again, you don't have to wait till Christmas to do that. I believe that if you ask God, Lord, give me a giving spirit, then God will bless you to the point that you'll never be without. Because I found out that people who have a giving spirit tend to have more. People who have a closed spirit, who don't want to bless anybody, people who are selfish, it's something they struggle. They struggle all the time. There are some people that if you get in their car, they're gonna charge you. If you ask them to go 2 blocks, they're gonna charge you. And there's nothing wrong with somebody offers to give you something. If you choose to do that, that's fine. But some folks, they let you know up front, you gotta pay. You gotta pay. But now, if somebody asks you to take them out of town, that's a different story. But if somebody's going the same direction, and I've literally had this happen. I remember there was a time years ago. You're talking about 45 years. The time I didn't have a car, there's people that were going the same direction. Sometimes would charge me to go to church. Can you imagine that? Charge somebody to not ask me if I want anything. So, well, you give me this right here. And those people, they struggle all the time. Struggle. When you have a giving spirit, God will honor that giving spirit. God will honor you with the resource to give. And so I pray that this holiday season, these are things this is the takeaway that we want to take away from the holiday season. I don't want to take away a whole lot of bills and debt. I want to take away the meaning of the season. I want to take away that I can be a blessing. So when I like that song that we used to sing as a kid, if I can help somebody as I journey on, then my living will not be in vain. If you can help one person, if you can be a blessing to one person, your life is not going to be in vain, and you're not going to be forgotten. And the person that you help may not be able to help you, but God knows how to see. He that sees you secretly will reward you openly. God honors that. Sometimes God is testing our spirit to see if we're willing to give. And we have faith in God. We know God's going to bless us. You can't help but to be blessed when you give Him. You can't help. My friend, Pastor Farmer, sings a song. He said, "I started living when I started giving." He gets excited about that song. I started living when I started giving. Y'all hear him sing that song sometime. He sings with so much energy. And that's the truth. When you start giving, you position yourself to really be in a position of being blessed. And so again, there has to be that balance. We have to be the balance. We live in times when people are struggling, people don't have to give. If you don't have to give, there's no need to feel bad about not giving, because I know there's been times where I did not have to give. I couldn't give. I wanted to give. I couldn't give because I didn't have nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So if you ain't got to give, you just can't give. But I believe if you ask God and ask God to bless you, God will bless you. God's able to open the windows of heaven, pour you out blessings, shall not be room enough for you. If you say, Lord, if you bless me, I'm gonna be a blessing to somebody else. I just believe in my spirit that God will bless you. I've seen that happen before. I've seen people say, if I don't have any, but if God bless me, I'm gonna be a blessing to someone else. I'm really gonna be a blessing to a whole lot of people. And guess what happens? I've seen that very same individual, God bless them beyond measure they never had. And guess what? They become selfish. They don't want to give. They want to hold on, not realizing that the reason why God blessed them is so they can be a blessing. Now, I have seen individuals who have said that and they've honored that, and God's blessed them with even more. And I pray that that's your prayer today. So, Lord, bless me. That I can be a blessing, especially in these difficult times we're living in. You know, uh, you know, financial affordability. People just don't have to give. But the Bible said, to whom much is given, much is required. So to those who are able to be blessed, then God requires of you to be a blessing. God blesses us to be a conduit. He doesn't bless you and say, "Oh, look what I got! I got so much money. I got this and that." No, God blesses you so you can be a blessing to someone else. Amen. Whatever man sows shall he also reap. A liberal soul shall be made fat. That's so true, Brother Jeff. You're right on point, because that's just what I was saying. God will honor that. And sometimes people wonder why they're struggling. Ask yourself, how many people have you been a blessing to? How many people you try to help? How many people have you encouraged? Even I will say this, even during this holiday season, I'm gonna say this right here. Be a blessing to your waiter and waitress. Listen, if you go to a restaurant, do not be cheap. Bless that waiter, bless that waitress. They have needs as well. A lot of them working hard and working during the holiday season. Some of them have extra demands on them because a lot of these employers do not care about the employees. They're working hard because they know me and the employees, they need a job. So they feel like they can put anything on them. Be thoughtful, be respectful, be appreciative to your waiter or your waitress. Be generous. Let this be a season of generosity. Don't just give nobody no 5%, 10%. I give no less than 20%. The only time I would give less than 10%, well, I don't give less than 10%, but so like I said last week, I call 10% my grace offering. That's if somebody just gives me terrible service. And I don't have too many times when I've had people that just did not want to wait on you. They have you waiting a long time. It's not because the restaurant was busy. They just didn't care. And so I give them a 10% anyway. I call it, they don't deserve it, but I give it to them anyway. It doesn't cost me to be nice. And so you might say, well, I don't say, but you just try to be nice to people, and maybe they'll see it, and maybe they'll learn. Then too, you just never know the pressure that people are under a great deal of pressure during the holiday season when you want to do and you can't do, when you want to do and your finances are to the point you don't have the resources, and you just try and catch up with bills, and you barely are able to make it. That can be frustrating, that can be discouraging, that can be stressful, and you don't know what stress people are under. A lot of people are under that much more stress during the holiday season. And that's why I want to encourage somebody: don't allow yourself to be stressed out this holiday season. Don't be stressed out. Tis the season to be jolly. So let's be jolly. Let's be thankful. Let's be appreciative. Let's be caring. Let's be supportive. Let's be giving. Give to your waitress. Give to your waiter. Give to them. One of the things I think I mentioned last week, my daughter Christine used to work at Applebee's, and one of the things she told me, she said, "Dad," she said, "I hate to say this, Dad," she said, "but she said, the saints are the worst tippers." Now, how in the world we are children of the Most High God, and we some of the worst tippers? We should be the most generous folks. We should be the most generous people out there. So, and I always gave a tip, but when she brought that to my attention, I step up on my tip. I have no problem giving a good waitress waiter a 50% tip. I've given them a 75%. I've given them 100% tip. And I will say this right here. Maybe consider this right here. Reason why I give beyond a 10% tip, I think if I go to a restaurant that's not a high-end restaurant, like Ruth Chris or St. Elmo's, one of those restaurants, because their prices are high, you give a tip based upon what you pay. But however, you may go to somebody at a lower end restaurant, Red Lobster or Longhorn, and the price are low. Well, the person there may give you as good a service or better service than the person at St. Elmo's. So it's a fair to them because they are working at a lower end restaurant. So I think sometimes we need to give in relationship to the type of service we got, not the price tag on the bill. In relationship to price service, that's just something you may want to think about because there are people out there that are working hard to give outstanding service, if I get a waiter or waitress that's giving outstanding service, I don't mind giving them a nice tip to let them appreciate it because everybody can use some encouragement. Everybody can use some. Brother Charles, God bless you. Said Bishop is no more togetherness, unity in today's time. We are the children of God. Almighty need to come back together with each other in the body of Christ on earth to do the will of the Lord. No matter what church or tie we hold or had, and come together as be a helping hand together for the people in need. That's so true. Now, I agree with most of what you're saying. You said, I imagine you said it's not as much, but there's no more together. I think there is some togetherness. Sometimes we don't always see the togetherness, but there's some togetherness. There are people that are doing just what you're saying, but I agree with you. There should be a need for more of that, and should be seen more. And there are people that are doing. There are some people who have a giving spirit. I would say, even what I'm talking about tonight, there are people that have a giving spirit that no one will ever know about. No, because they're not letting the right hand see what the left hand doing. And so because we don't see that, and sometimes we see what people are not doing more so than what we see what people are doing. But I agree with you that we should come together more and support each other. And whatever ideals you have, feel free to share with us. I think that's great what you're saying, Brother George. I do think we need to come together. And anybody on here, I think sometimes if your church is not able to do, collaborate with another church and say, hey, because there are some churches that have plenty of giving. There's some churches that are small. And now my church, I just started pastoring here in Indianapolis in June, not 6 months yet. And so we're a growing church. We're growing, and so we were able to pass off some turkeys for Thanksgiving. We try to help people. We try to give people, and so I talked to a couple churches. Want to collaborate with some other churches to be a blessing, because no matter how big or how small your church is, there's always going to be somebody in your church that needs something. So we church need to get together. One can chase 1,000, two can put 10,000 fly. We just have to work together, share our vision, share our goals, and work together. And hopefully this is time and season. But we're gonna need each other. Way economy is going, and we need to pray for churches because whereas I just started church, a lot of churches are closing doors because they just can't afford it. People are not giving like they used to give, and people have to realize that when you come to church, that there's a need. There's a financial need. Church, they have bills, they have responsibility, and there's a financial need. Now, one thing I don't preach about and teach a lot is about money. Doesn't mean that I don't need it. It just means that I don't talk about it. And maybe there's some time you need to talk about it. But there is a need there. And so you can sponsor your church, support your church, whatever church you go to, support that, or create a benevolence fund. Tell your pastor, say, hey, I want to give this, I want to donate this right here, if you know a family that's in need. And so there are a lot of things we can do. There are a lot of suggestions. If someone has an ideal suggestion, write it in the comment. Let us know what your thoughts are, what you'd like to see done. It's your turn now. It's your turn to give ideas. No one person has it all. No one person can do it all. No one church can help everybody. You can't. We have limited resources, but abundance of need. And so we have to work within the framework of what we have. You can only give what you have. But praise be to God. I believe that when we realize how blessed we are, and I will say this right, I am blessed. I know I'm blessed. Those that are watching here are blessed. Some people are blessed and just don't know you're blessed. You're blessed. You got your health. You got sound mind. You're blessed. You're blessed financially, blessed physically. It's not only financial. Sometimes just your health, your strength. peace of mind. Those are blessings. We are blessed, and we can just focus on the blessing of God. How blessed we are. I'm excited about the blessing of God. I'm excited the holiday season. I'm excited about the goodness of God. I'm excited because as I reflect on Christ being born for our sins, I am excited. I'm excited about my brothers and sisters. I'm excited about a time of fellowship. And so we just, just thanking God. I thank God another day He's allowed me to be on this earth because He didn't have to do it. And listen, let's be thankful. Let's be appreciative because so many things happen. People are leaving here every day. People are leaving, young and old people are leaving. As I shared, I was in Bahamas. My wife and I were in Bahamas not too long ago. And, we talked to young man, 10 o'clock at night, talked to him. We were at a banquet and honoring Bishop Menace. And I spoke to the young man. I was encouraging him. He says, appreciate that, sir. And I said, I'll see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock in the morning. He died, 26-year-old young man. So, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And we ought to all be thankful because you just never know. This is the day the Lord made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. So let's be thankful. If we can have a thankful heart, we won't be despondent. We won't be frustrated about what we don't have. If we have a grateful, appreciative heart, we'll have a smile on our face. The child of God should never walk around with their head hung down low, even in times of frustration, discouragement. The psalmist said, lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift up your everlasting door. And the King of glory shall come in. This is a time for us as saints of God to really be thankful, to really be appreciative, to really be grateful, to really show the love of God. And I'm not going to say, well, I'm going to step back because it's holiday season. I'm not into a commercial. No, I'm going to get that much more. I'm going to reflect the love of God that much more. Don't let the enemy deceive you and say, well, I'm just going to be super spiritual. I'm not going to be a part of this right here. Well, there's nothing wrong with being nice. Whatever reason it is for you to be a little extra nice, do it. See the enemy, if he can't push you, he'll pull you. He'll tell you, well, I'm not going to do all that. I don't believe in all that. So what? You don't believe in being kind? You don't believe in supporting people? You don't believe in showing the love of God? I'm not going to let somebody's stigma that they try to place on the holiday season keep me from enjoying the holiday season, to keep me from being a blessing to somebody. See, I'm not gonna do that. Don't let the devil have you been like you so spiritual. I don't believe in Christmas holiday. Well, what do you believe in? What do you believe in? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in giving? Do you believe in supporting others? That's what the Christmas holiday season about. Do you believe in reflecting God? It's not about the tree yet. If I give me a tree, I know that I'm not worshiping a tree. I like the look. I like to see Christmas trees. I like to see lights and decorations on Christmas tree. I enjoy it. It's a festive idea, a festive feeling. It's not saying that this is related to God, Jesus, the Christmas tree. No, it's not about. It's Christmas tree. It's not about Jesus, but it's something that looks nice, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Some people have Christmas lights on all year round, and I like it. I could probably do it for a little while, but I'm not the boss around my house sometimes. In some areas, when it comes to those things, my wife, I let her decide how long, when, where, and how we're going to put our Christmas decorations up. But I just think, I just pray that during this holiday season, that you will get the most out of it. Take a little time to show some love to somebody. Take some time to show some support to somebody, and live within your means. Live within your means. Do not allow yourself to get in a financial bind. It doesn't have to be that. You don't have to get in a financial bind. Do not get in a financial bind. Do what you can do. Live within your means. Somebody say, live within your means. Have balance. And everything we do, we should have balance. I'm going to say this back to what I was talking about financial literacy, because I think that's important. Financial literacy. Make sure that you pay more on the principal than you are on interest. Don't let these people finance companies sucker you in by saying low monthly payment. Low monthly payments means you paying interest that much longer. Pay that thing out. Pay extra on that principal. I remember when I first decided I was going to start spending less money on people, and I had a charter. I said, I know what I'm going to do for Christmas. I'm going to put more money toward my principal. That was my Christmas gift to myself. And to others, I said, my friends will appreciate me paying these bills off. I did that until I got every bill paid off. And now I can enjoy the Christmas holiday. I can enjoy and not be broke. And so, but just take the time to show and be honest with yourself. There is an affordability issue with a lot of people. And you may be blessed, and you may have the resources, but just be mindful that everyone is not as blessed as you are. And we have to maintain our level of expectation. Don't expect too much from other people. And don't place a person in a position that they feel that they have to give you something that they just can't afford. You know, sometimes parents let those kids listen. If you love that child and the child knows that you love them, and you teach that child right, then that child knows they may be disappointed. Because when we was coming up, we got a T-shirt and a pair of socks, and that was a Christmas gift. Many times for us because mom just didn't have it. There were times when she was able to do a lot, but there's time when and I learned the value of just appreciating what you get. And not go pouting because you got a there are a couple times, man, I did want to pout, but man, they straighten you out. You can pout because you got to be thankful for what you got. And if you install that in your children, starting now, the next year they'll know. So just don't over expect from people. Let's be safe. Let's have a safe holiday. Let's have a pleasant holiday. Let's have an enjoyable holiday. Um, and just be mindful of the times we live in. We live in some difficult times. We live in people are struggling, and we have to realize that people are struggling. And I'm telling, let's be safe out here. There's people struggling, people are desperate, and there are people, because they are made financially sin. There are people that will rob you, that will knock you upside your head, and that's the way that's their Christmas bonus. So when you go in shopping, if you go in shopping, be careful. I encourage you not to go shopping late at night. If you go in shopping, ladies, park close to the door. Don't be walking in no parking lot late at night by yourself, because there are people that will take advantage of you. If somebody puts something on your windshield and you get in the car, stay in there. Somebody bumps into your car, keep on moving. Don't get out and see what it is. But there are people who will take advantage of you during the holiday season. Whereas the saints of God are trying to show love, the enemy is trying to take advantage of people. So we have to be mindful of that. And we have to be prayerful. And we have to be very careful and make sure that we're safe during this holiday week. Don't keep your guards up. Don't let your guards down. Don't get so caught up in holiday shopping that you come out of the mall and not aware, because people will rob you of your gifts. So if you have gifts in the car, put it in your trunk. Don't let your gifts be in the car back of car on the floor, because there are people looking at. People will rob you. People break into your car and steal everything you got. So you don't want to buy all those Christmas gifts and they're gone. And just be careful. A lot of times people are robbing people's houses, and so you just have to be mindful of what's going on during this holiday season. There's so many things happening. As we say, we live in the best of time for the worst of time. There's people that have good hearts, and there's people whose hearts are just filled with evil, and we have to pray for them, and we have to also be careful. We have to be mindful of them. But again, I want us to realize, hey, this is another opportunity, Christmas season. Be thankful, be grateful wherever you're at, pause, or wherever state I'm in, there with to be content. I'm gonna learn how to be content. I'm gonna be thankful. I'm gonna be appreciative. I'm gonna be grateful. I'm gonna be excited, and I'm just gonna thank God for every blessing. I want to say a prayer for Patricia Davenport. She had surgery on today. Patricia, we remember you in our prayers. You and Brother Kevin. Our prayers are with you, Sister Patricia Cosper, Paul Costas. Patricia, she had a fall and she has surgery. So we want to pray for you as well. I want to remember those who are struggling through the holiday season because of grief, because they lost a loved one. Be mindful of someone. If you know someone that has lost a loved one, reach out to them. Sometimes we reach out to people during the funeral time. But if you know someone that's lost a husband, lost a wife, lost a child, take the time to call them up, let them know that you're still thinking about that, you're praying for them. There are so many ways of giving. Y'all count how many ways can I be a blessing. There's so many ways you can be bless someone. And it doesn't all involve money, just goodwill, just a phone call, just a text, a card. Find a way to be nice. Let's make this to be a season of giving, but not necessarily always financial, but giving to yourself, giving you your time, giving you resources. Listen, we love you. God bless. Thank you once again, each of you, for taking the opportunity to join us on It's My Turn Now. I appreciate it. As this year is over, I think we have a couple more time. This year's almost over. And another year we've gone through with It's My Turn Now. We thank God for each and every one of you that have supported us, all our guests that's been on here. Don't forget to share this. We're so thankful for each one that shares this broadcast. Again, if there's a subject that you want to talk about, then let us know. Inbox me, call me, text me. Let me know that there's something that you like to discuss, and we'll be more than happy to discuss it. But in the upcoming months, there are going to be a lot of subjects. I try to be prayerful about the subjects that I discuss. But there are going to be some more intense subjects we're going to talk about. So just have to be prepared and be ready for it. Lady Overseer Monroe says, amen. We love you. God bless you. Love each and every one of you. Thank you once again for joining us for another episode of It's My Turn Now. Don't forget to hit that share button. We love you. God